I've wanted to visit the Isle of Mull for, well, ever since I found out about it really. It is one of the most beautiful places in the UK and it hosts an incredible variety of wildlife. And I got to spend a week there testing out the Canon R6 Mark III. But before I could start taking any photos, we had a long journey ahead. As we left Hertfordshire, we had a 7-hour drive up to Glasgow where we stayed for the night. And the next morning we ventured through the beautiful Scottish Highlands, passing places like Loch Lomond, and it was just an incredible experience driving through this stunning scenery. And eventually we got to Oban in time to board our ferry to take us to the Isle of Mull. I have arrived onto the very extremely beautiful Isle of Mull and we've just got to our cottage now. The light is just absolutely incredible. I'm so buzzing for this week of wildlife beauty. I'm in awe. I've got a huge moorland right in front of me. So I'm just outside our cottage and there's a really expansive moorland right over here, stretching all around the land, and I've got my camera set up. I basically just got here, so I'm gonna go inside and unpack my stuff. This island is impressing me already. As the sun started to set on the first day that we arrived, my imagination started to fill with all of the possibilities for the rest of the week, and I was so excited to start exploring this beautiful island and to take some photos. As I woke up on the first day, I was greeted to 2 rainbows outside the window. But I knew that day was going to be quite a lazy day, just exploring the area and to give my dad a rest for all of the driving that he did. Now, we did do a little bit of exploring that day. We went up to the cliffs and we went up a few of the hills that were around the cottage. But overall, we had quite a chill day and it was just nice to take a break and relax, enjoy the beautiful scenery and enjoy the warm fire that we had in the cottage. On the second day, we ran into quite a big problem. On that day, we found out that literally all of the EV chargers had all gone out of service randomly, and we had no clue what we were going to do. And to make matters even worse, we had just gone to try and find some otters on the other side of the island, and I didn't get lucky at all. I didn't see a single otter. Now, to be honest, at that point, I was really disheartened. I had no clue what we were going to do, and it felt like everything was just falling apart. And I remember just feeling really upset at that moment, just because I'd come to one of the most beautiful places and one of the best places for wildlife photography, and just something like this happened. Now, even though we were on the journey home and I was otterless, as we were driving through the 3 lochs, I saw a flash of a bird perched on a rock. And thankfully there was no cars behind us and no cars in front of us, so we were able to drive backwards really slowly. And eventually this beautiful buzzard just stared straight into my eyes and I spotted it. And I had my camera out of the window, but the framing was just absolutely stunning. You had the beautiful mountain in the background and heather and grass in the foreground. It made for an absolutely incredible photo. And this buzzard was just there, sitting there, so majestic. And I managed to get some really nice photos. I think it's a really good reminder that when things aren't going how you want them to, there might always be something that you weren't looking for, and it just gives you a little reward to say well done for trying. And that buzzard was just that. I was really happy that I managed to capture these really nice photos and a bit of footage as well. This has been absolutely incredible. We've had 3 visits from the eagles in about an hour, and I was not expecting this. This has blew my expectations out of the roof. It has been incredible, and they are huge. Like, I did not expect them to be like this big. But when you see them with your eyes instead of through the camera, they are just absolutely massive, and they're incredible birds to watch. Oh, cormorants just come past. The landscape as well is just beautiful, and we've seen dolphins as well. And I did manage to get a really nice photo of the dolphin. Here comes a cormorant. Man, just thinking about the experience gives me goosebumps. I can't put into words how incredible that experience was. And if anyone thought that the boat trip is just for eagles, you have got it completely wrong. We saw absolutely loads of dolphins, and we even got a glimpse of a minke whale. You just gotta like place your camera and hope for the best.
Or what I thought was a whale. Nothing came up in 2 minutes. I stopped recording and then it comes up straight away.
Honestly,
Bait.
it happens every time. Thank you so much to Mull Charters for providing such an amazing experience. I would highly recommend it to anyone that is going to the Isle of Mull. Just nearby to where we had the Eagle boat trip, there was this beautiful waterfall. I think it was called EOS R's Waterfall, something along those lines. But we just had to go have a look because it looked absolutely beautiful with the photos. And when we went down there, it was a breathtaking view. And I decided to get out my wide angle lens and my filters and take some really nice shots around like 30-second exposures. I've been sort of making it my goal to do some landscape photography on each of my photography trips, because when I'm going to a new area, it's really nice just to capture the landscape and the scenery. And I thought this was a spot that was just perfect for it. But one thing that we'd really like to do as a family was spend some time on the pier eating some fish and chips. And is there a better place to do that than the Isle of Mull? I'm not too sure. Now, I just want to tell a really funny story quickly. So when I was on the Isle of Mull, a brilliant photographer, Mike Phelps, was also on the Isle of Mull hosting his tours for Apex Adventures. Throughout the trip, I was sort of messaging Mike because he'd been to the island before and he had quite a few spots, and he was kind enough to give me some locations to check out. Now, after the Eagle boat trip, we were just walking into a spa to pick up some food for the rest of the day. And guess who decides to walk into this shop? Yep, you guessed it, Mike Phelps. It was just absolutely incredible. Such a coincidence, but yeah, Mike Phelps, he's such a really nice guy. And if you don't follow him already, he's well worth a follow on Instagram and YouTube. His photography is nothing less than breathtaking. As we arrived back at the cottage, we needed to think of a plan of how we were going to drive around on the island. Thankfully, we found this caravan site that was on a main road that we would always pass by, And the funny thing is, the charger wasn't disclosed on Google Maps. There wasn't really a digital sign to say that there was charging there, but as we passed it, we saw that there was a charging spot, and we went there the next day. Thankfully, there was a space free. The next morning, I was really keen to get up to the cliffs for sunrise, so I decided to wake up really early, and I was greeted to the most beautiful sunrise, probably one of the best I've ever seen. The clouds were just so dramatic, and seeing it with the beautiful sea was just such a moment. And I waited up there in the freezing cold to try and see a golden eagle or some white-tailed seagulls. And after some waiting, we got 2 white-tailed seagulls flying together, and it was an incredible moment. I don't think it's a common thing to see 2 white-tailed seagulls flying together, but they were literally flying in formation down the coastline. Now, when we got back to the cottage around the middle of the morning, I just sat down on the sofa and I was pretty tired. But all of a sudden, my mum spotted something gliding across the field. And I looked out the window and I was in shock. A hen harrier was quartering the fields right in front of our cottage, and I had my camera. I was outside in the garden just photographing it, taking loads of photos, and I was amazed. This was the bird that I was trying to see for a few days consecutively, and I had no luck, and there it was flying right outside our cottage. The rest of the day we spent up in Tobermory, and it was such a good experience because when I was younger I grew up with Tobermory, the TV show, and this is where it was set. Almost all of the houses are completely the same. It was such a nice little town to explore. We had another really good fish and chips. That was probably one of the best fish and chips of my life. So that took up most of the day, but it was really nice to explore the town and to see Tobermory. That evening I decided to go down to the beach to do some wild swimming. So the next day was the real test. I hadn't seen an otter on the trip so far, and that was the last full day that I had the last chance to finally photograph an otter. So it is the last full day of this Isle of Mull trip, and I'm a bit gutted really because I don't want to leave. It's so beautiful here. And as you can see right now, we're driving on this track road, and the problem is the road quality on this track in particular is absolutely awful. So it takes us 20 minutes to get out of the cottage. I think there's a buzzard. Do you see that hovering? Yeah, there's a buzzard in front. So the buzzard came literally just here, and it slowly went down and it tried to catch something just above there, and I was outside the car and so me and my mum decided to take the drive up to Loch Spelv. It was a beautiful sunny day, And as we got there, as we were driving, we hadn't even got to the spot yet, I spotted 2 otters fighting in the water. Oh my gosh, I've just found an otter. I'm just waiting for it to go down so I can sneak up to the rock where I can rest my camera. Now, as I was down there on the bank, I met Andy Howard. He was so generous to basically let me join his workshop for the rest of the afternoon. He let me tag along with the rest of his group, and we were going up the shoreline, photographing these beautiful otters. He's been photographing otters now for 15 years, which I find incredible because I'm only 15 years old. He knew so much about them, and he was able to get us into the right positions for photography and to not disturb them. This is absolutely insane. There's 2 otters and they've been like mating. I was so lucky to have all of this happen on the last day and to finally have my dream of photographing an otter come true. It really was such an experience and it's changed my life really and my view on photography, and I'll never forget all of the moments that I experienced on the Isle of Mull. And I just want to say a huge thank you to all of the people that have helped me along the way. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm really focused on improving every single time the production quality of my YouTube videos. So I really do appreciate all of the support. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.